If you want the best fantasy football content, this is the channel to subscribe to. Welcome, everybody. Please hit the subscribe button. In addition to doing all of our podcasts live, we also have a live stream Tuesday night at 8 p.m., Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m., and Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m. So there's a lot of great content in this feed. Please, again, hit subscribe. Let's answer some questions, get the fantasy cops out, and update you on the latest news. It is time for your Friday or Saturday mailbag, depending on when you watch or listen to the show. Welcome. I am Adam Azer with Jamie Eisenberg and Chris Towers, and we have got big-time running back news. It looks like ALVIN KAMARA, good chance he misses the game. Same with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, probably not going to play. Same with the top two New England running backs. We're going to rank all of the backup running backs, all of the replacements, based on what we know right now at 2:18 p.m. on Friday. All right. Haven't heard from Chris Towers in a while. Hey, Chris.
Hello. How's it going?
Ooh, it's good. It's good. I mean, I guess I'm just waiting to see which running back I'm going to be excited about because there's a lot of potential. What a year for zero RB, Jamie.
What a year for zero RB.
Really? I mean, I cannot recall a year like this.
Has it been good for zero RB?
I think so. I mean, it just the amount of streamable running backs there have been week after week.
So which of them have been good though?
For a full season?
No.
Eli Mitchell. Who?
Dearness Johnson. Mitchell's been good for the season.
Yeah. A guy like Darrell Williams has been fine. Chuba Hubbard was fine. Good enough to plug in if you lost your running back.
But does that outweigh the starters who have been good?
Well, no, that's not the point. But I just think that,
well, you guys also have to take into account like the fact that like Cooper Kupp is the top wide receiver the top player by a mile so far, and he was someone that you could easily get in the fourth or fifth round in a lot of drafts, and so. Depending on how you built your team there, it kind of all depends on which players you took. If you went zero RB and like I had a lot of Chase Edmonds as my RB2 in a lot of leagues. And, that's been up and down. It was good early on, but overall, I think that's going to end up being a loss. So,
wouldn't you say the receivers drafted later have been better than the running backs drafted later?
It's not okay. Sorry. What I meant was, what a crazy year with all of these running back injuries. I feel like it's much worse than ever.
You got like a theme you're going for, and we just shot a hole in your theme?
No, but I'm serious. Like Devontae Booker's another one. I forgot about him, You could have easily just gotten by with waiver wire running backs this year in a way that I just don't really think you could have in previous seasons. Maybe I'm wrong. And
I mean, there's certainly been guys, but it just like Chris brought up Cooper Kupp. Like, so if you did go heavy RB early, whatever you want to call it, and you ended up with Kupp or Pittman or Debo or Mike Williams or Marquise Brown. Like, I feel like there's a good counterbalance to the receivers that were drafted late as well.
I just mean it's been a really crappy year for running backs.
There do seem to have been an inordinate number of injuries at running backs and guys losing their jobs. I mean, you look at like the top 12 and in ADP, and about 9 of those guys have been really good / active. Like Christian McCaffrey, he's been really good, but he hasn't really been there for most of the season. Is Dalvin Cook a disappointment right now?
Yeah. I don't even know if he's a top 20 running back.
Yeah, they have 3 rushing touchdowns as a team, which is wild.
That is wild.
And like Antonio Gibson was number 11. That's not working out so well so far. But, I think it's like once you get to the RB2 and 3 range is when things really kind of get ugly. Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire at RB14. Yeah. David Montgomery at RB16 hasn't worked out so far. Chris Carson, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why forget about the zero RB thing. I just meant what a year for streaming running backs, folks. What a
Let's
great
talk about this
year.
more.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, yeah, because let's rank these running backs. All right. So here are some of the guys that might be pushed into starting roles this weekend. Mark Ingram at Tennessee, Dearness Johnson at New England, possibly Devin Singletary at the Jets. Yeah, this might be one we have to cross him off then. Darrell Williams at Las Vegas. I'll probably take Eli Mitchell off this since he's an established starter at this point. Brandon Bolden against Cleveland, or J.J. Taylor against Cleveland, and maybe Carlos Hyde against the Colts. Hopefully not. Optimistic there on James Robinson. So if we were to, no, I'm going to leave Devin Singletary on there, but I'm going to remove Elijah Mitchell. You tell me who's the best in this group? Ingram, Dearness Johnson, Singletary, Darrell Williams, Brandon Bolden, Carlos Hyde.
Dearness. Yeah.
Okay, who's the second best?
If there's no Zach Moss, it would be Singletary for me. If there is Zach Moss, it would be Mark Ingram.
Yep, I think that's the case.
Okay, who's the worst? Bolden, Hyde?
Hyde would be the worst.
I think Hyde would be the worst, yeah.
But you at least know if Robinson were out, Hyde is going to dominate the touches. You don't really know with Brandon Bolden.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm struggling with. Like, they haven't really given J.J. Taylor much work at all. I think he had 9 carries in week 7, and that's the only game that he's had more than 4 touches, I believe. So, obviously, that's difficult because it's been a 4-headed backfield for most of the season. But what they're going to do has been, I think, one of the trickier questions this week. And I think it's going to be Brandon Bolden as, like, the lead back, or at least the better fantasy back because of the pass catching. But I'm not 100%.
Pass catching will help. Taylor, I did bring this up earlier in the week. There was a game where it was Stevenson inactive, Damian Harris played, got hurt. Mm-hmm. Taylor and Bolden were both healthy, and Taylor got more work than Bolden did, more carries. I think he had 9, you said, Chris?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, so those are some options for you. We'll see if they come up in the questions from the Apple Podcast reviews or from the mailbag from fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. Sunday, we kick off the second half of the season with an NFL on CBS doubleheader, with the early games featuring the Browns battling the Patriots, backup running backs, and the Saints taking on the Titans, backup running backs. Later, the Seahawks are on the road in Lambeau for a meeting with the Packers. Oh, I should put Alex Collins on that list too. As always, the day begins with JB, Coach Coward, Nate, Boomer, and Phil on the NFL Today. NFL doubleheader action coming up this Sunday on CBS. And I didn't even bother with Adrian Peterson and the Titans. All right, so let's say Chris Carson was out. Yeah, sorry. If Chris Carson's out, would you start Collins or Darrell Williams?
Without Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely Darrell Williams.
Yeah, I would go with Darrell Williams.
All right, how about Brandon Bolden or Alex Collins?
Bolden.
I think I would go Collins.
Okay. Let's get some more news and notes here. DeAndre Hopkins, game time decision. Kyler Murray did practice on Friday, so that's boding well. Expect him to play?
Yes, and take the under on any rushing prop you could find for Kyler Murray.
I mean, he only has, I believe, 38 yards over his last 4 games before the injury on the ground. So, because remember, there was that he had a shoulder issue, like in week 4 or 5, I think that. Last season we saw him stop really running when he injured his shoulder. This time it wasn't as serious, but it does seem to have limited his rushing production as well.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can find that player prop. Very curious to see what it is.
There will be none right now.
Oh, then I won't look.
Yes.
Chris Godwin is going to be a game time decision. Logan Thomas almost certainly not going to play. T.Y. Hilton is going to play, and Cam Newton almost certainly not going to play. Here we go. Apple Podcast reviews. Thank you very much for your Apple Podcast reviews. You're doing a better job of actually leaving a review and not just a question. And we appreciate that. Please let everybody know why you like this show.
Did you see Cam's comment about DJ Moore?
No.
He said when he left me, he was Simba. I don't want to say he was Mufasa right now because that's still me.
That's pretty good.
Yep. He also said something very telling. He said, quote, I will say something I've wanted to say for a long time. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding?
That's their motto.
Okay. I thought he was going to say something from The Lion King. I'm going to say something I haven't said for a long time. Hakuna Matata. That would have been good. All right, well, Canadian Zach.
Held up DJ Moore.
Yeah, somebody Photoshop that.
I will save you.
Canadian Zach has Jalen Hurts, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, A.J. Brown, Chris Godwin, Travis Kelce. Good team. Myles Gaskin, Antonio Gibson, and hot garbage for a bench. I want to go all in this year, so I was thinking of trading Gibson for Cordarrelle Patterson. But the problem is I can keep Gibson for 5 years if I don't trade him. I need you to decide my move because I want to win the league. I've played in for 10 years. I've come so close before, but I've never won. Do I trade Gibson and hope for the best, or keep him and Godwin and Eckler for years to come and hope for luck in the future?
I would make the trade. I know it hurts to give up players that have long-term appeal, but I wonder if Gibson's ever going to be the type of player that you're saying is a slam dunk, top 15, week in, week out starter. He's going to probably end up being one of these guys that's like a back-end starter if he keeps the job, and it wouldn't be surprising if they replace him.
And that's the thing is, when you're talking about a guy like that, there's no 5 years. Like, if Antonio Gibson isn't a top 15 running back, he probably doesn't have value 2 or 3 years away from now. You know?
Yeah. All right. So make the trade?
Yeah. I mean, look, you don't want to take yourself out of a position to win, and you're in that position right now.
Okay. From Drago 1064. Jamie, do you have a Drago t-shirt as well? I see you're wearing a Mr. T-shirt. Mr. T.
This is more of an A-team Mr. T-shirt, not a Rocky 3 Mr. T-shirt.
Mr. T. Do you say Mr. T T-shirt, or I think just Mr. T-shirt works? Okay, 12-team full PPR redraft. I'm in must-win territory. I'm 3-6. I give Eli Mitchell, Tyler Lockett, and Dallas Goedert. Okay, give Mitchell, Lockett, and Goddard. I get Waller. Oh, man, all of that for Waller?
You're giving up too much there.
Does he say who his tight end is, or she?
Goddard. He's giving up Goddard with Eli Mitchell and Lockett for.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
I mean, he still has a good team. He doesn't even necessarily need to. No, you can't do it. It's too much.
No,
so he said something on the show the other day about consolidating players. At this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it when you're doing something like this.
Yeah, it's too much. All right, from me 619. Hey, Billy, Tommy, Zach, and Jason. Who are they? Oh, I feel like I should get this. Billy, Tommy, Zach, and Jason. Okay. I'm in an 8-team league with deep rosters. I made this trade. I'm at 7-2. I gave up Zeke, Godwin, and Keenan Allen. Zeke, Godwin, and Keenan Allen. I got Kelce, Jacobs, and Mike Williams, and Harold Landry. I guess it's IDP. What do you think?
See, Godwin and Keenan for Kelce, Jacobs, Williams, and Landry.
Don't love it.
Yeah.
But the question is where's Godwin's health at? Like, if this is something that's significant, which it doesn't sound like it, but who knows, then that would sway it a little bit for me. But, I mean, you're giving up a little bit too much.
Yeah, you're giving up 3 must-start guys, and I think you're only getting 1 must-start guy back, especially in an 8-team league. I'm not sure Jacobs or Williams is a must-start guy.
I must confess, I don't know how good Harold Landry is in IDP.
He's very good. I guess, well, I think maybe taking into account that it is an 8-team league, is he even starting Godwin or who was the other receiver? Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen. I mean, they're both top 15 guys for me.
Right. No, I don't disagree that they're probably starters, but it just, you never know what you have with that shallow of a format.
Harold Landry is, looks like he's about the 15th best linebacker so far. All right, moving on.
Next, those were Power Rangers, the original American Power Rangers.
Well, then I don't feel so bad about not knowing them. All right.
You watch Power Rangers. Come on.
I never watched Never watched. I mean, I've seen it, but I never watched it. You know what I mean? Like, no. you can listen, but you can't hear Jimmy, right? Thank you, Jamie. All right, half PPR, 3-receiver Dynasty League.
Oh boy, Titans practice on Friday. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is who was missing. No Ryan Tannehill. No Julio Jones. No AJ Brown.
Well, Tannehill's got an illness, but he should play.
Yep.
AJ Brown, I thought he practiced in full on Thursday. I don't know what happened.
He did. I'm sure this is just his.
Yeah, he's been getting alternating days off. I think DK Metcalf's had a similar approach in practice. So,
Julio is probably not going to play.
Okay. By the way, we have a question. Is KAMARA officially out yet? No, as of Friday, no, he is not. But we do have a report that they are preparing to be without him. All right. Anyway, we're at Dynasty League 6-3. Should I trade DeAndre Hopkins and get Hollywood Brown and Brandon Ayuk?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. This hamstring injury could be a problem for a while. And if they continue to win games, they're going to be cautious with him for sure. I think I told you this, Adam. I traded in a keeper league where I can keep Hopkins. I can't keep Stephon Diggs. I traded Hopkins to get Diggs because I was concerned, and I have a team that can win now. So
yeah.
Well, and just Diggs might just be better than Hopkins. Brown might just be better than Hopkins right now.
Oh, I mean, for my situation, it's a little different because I can keep Hopkins. I can't keep Diggs. So I was giving up the long term for the short term. So we'll see.
But speaking generally, with Hopkins getting like a 23% target share, he would need to continue to score at an incredibly high rate to be a top. I mean, I don't think he's a top 15 wide receiver this season, even in points per game.
All right, from Choop, give me two: Javonte Williams, Antonio Gibson, Brandon Bolden, and he had Devontae Freeman. So I guess
Hopkins is 20th in points per game.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's tough when he played so little in the Packers game. Javonte Williams, Antonio Gibson, Brandon Bolden. What are your two favorites there?
Javonte and Bolden.
Yeah.
From Bro Leary 123. Dear Tommy, Paul, Harrison, Tyler, and Nolan. Oh, I know them. They're Cardinals, right?
Cardinals Gold Glovers, I believe.
Oh, okay. Grade the trade. 3 receiver, half PPR. I give James Robinson and Brandon Ayuk. I get Joe Mixon. He doesn't need.
I like this if Robinson's injury is significant.
I like it. I'd rather have Mixon. I'd rather have Mixon than Robinson, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think it's pretty close if Robinson's healthy.
It's just a matter of what Brandon Ayuk you're expecting to get.
But he doesn't need Ayuk.
Huh?
He doesn't need Ayuk for what it's worth.
So then, then it's a good trade.
All right, from Core 2186, 12-team. I'm the commissioner of a 12-team league. Our trade deadline is November 20th, and our playoffs start on December 16th. Should I change the trade deadline?
Not now.
December 16th. I don't know if I said November. I mean, you could probably trade. I don't know. That's one in-season thing you might be able to do that nobody's going to care about.
But why do it, though?
Because he's starting the playoff. My guess is it's always been November 20th, and he's asking, given that we're starting the playoffs a week later, should I push back the trade deadline?
Yeah, so I'm commissioner in one league, and we kind of never talked about the trade deadline until it passed last week, and we mostly just agreed, like nobody really realized that it was coming up, and so we all just generally agreed we'll just extend it a couple weeks and give people a chance to make moves.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, as long as everybody's aware of it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't just do it arbitrarily.
Rhett 71. So I'm in a PPR league. Would you trade Kelsey and Ayuk for Pitts and Metcalf? Yes.
I think I would, yeah.
You'd rather have Pitts and Metcalf?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just the downgrade from Kelsey to Pitts is pretty significant for me.
Yeah.
It is. But I mean, with Wilson back, I do think Metcalf is back to being a top 10 wide receiver. And
no, keep going.
What?
Keep going.
12?
Nope. No, lower.
17.
That I mean, better.
Top 10 makes sense.
Come on, keep going.
No, top 10's fine.
A top 3?
No.
Oh, Metcalf?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You think he's top 3 rest of the season?
I mean, look, it was a bold prediction I made. I don't remember when I made it.
Has he ever had a stretch where he's been a top 3 wide receiver more than like a few games?
I would say first half of the season last year. I would say 8 games.
I like how you phrase that. Has he ever been a top 3 wide receiver for more than a few games? So what's the stretch?
Well, no, right. I mean, I understand what he's saying.
For like an 8-game stretch or something.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe last year.
There was a 2-game stretch. He was a top 3 wide receiver. But has he ever had any stretch of games?
Let me see, actually. So Metcalf, first 8 games of last year. Where's my Metcalf note? Well, anyway, yeah, he's top 10. It doesn't matter. I'm just messing around. Well, first of all, he was number 6 last year for the year. So I don't have what he was in the first 8 games, but he was on pace for 86 catches, 1,576 yards, and 16 touchdowns in 16 games. I'm gonna predict he was top 5 because he finished 6th last year. I'm just excited. I'm just excited for the Seahawks. I'm just having fun. All right. So from Young Mart, hey Freddie, Ozzy, Dansby, and Austin. I know them. They're even better than the Cardinals. They're the Braves.
Those are lead singers of classic rock bands.
That's good. What the heck should I do? What should I do with Kareem Hunt? Should I trade him, and if so, for who?
Another running back you can trade Kareem Hunt for?
I think now listen, based on what I've seen from just listeners interacting, I think that there are a significant number of people out there who think Kareem Hunt is, maybe they're right, by the way, top 12 to 15 must start guy and someone worth getting and stashing. I feel like he was overperforming, and I just don't think he's going to be that when he comes back, and we don't even know when that's going to be. But I think you could get an Eli Mitchell or something for him.
I guess the approach would be is if, depending on what your record is, if you're, in trouble, you need to win immediately, then you look at the team who's, first, second place in your league and say, here's this guy that could help you be a difference maker. And Eli Mitchell's a good guy to target. Maybe James Robinson, now that he's banged up, is a good guy to target. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire probably is worth it, but if you want to buy into him playing now, sure. Those caliber of running backs, I think, is what you're looking for. Now, receivers, you could probably do something different because there's a lot more options. So, maybe it's even a package deal.
Would you trade Kareem Hunt for Mike Williams?
No.
I would probably aim higher, but I've seen some wacky Mike Williams trades recently, so who knows?
You've seen one.
How do you know how many I've seen?
I know the one you're referring to. All right. From Brian 189, week 10 advice: bench one wide receiver. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. Oh, you're not going to like this question. This is tough. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin. Bench one.
Whew. McLaurin.
Jamie said McLaurin.
I think I would be benching. I think I'm benching Deontay among the. No. Man, I don't know. Maybe Keenan Allen. I really like Terry McLaurin this week. I think it's going to be a really, really good game for him.
Let's go. I hope you're right. No practice for Alvin Kamara. Not looking good. And Nick Chubb out for Sunday's game.
That's weird.
David Bakhtiari.
I guess Nick Chubb must still be symptomatic then, because he should still have enough time. But I guess if you're symptomatic, you have to wait for 24 hours until you take your first test, I think is the way it works, or 48 hours.
I have no idea. Well, he needs two negative tests within 24 hours apart. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which means he could do it Saturday and then Sunday and play.
Yeah, but if he's still currently symptomatic,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's out. And it's good to know, because if someone tests positive early in the week and they are vaccinated, it's still now a pretty much a certainty that player is not going to play, and that should help you in the waiver wire going forward. And most importantly, it seems like Nick Chubb is doing okay, just not going to be able to play this week. Last one from Apple Podcasts. This is from Mo in Canada. I wonder if that's the Mo from Nickelodeon Guts. Remember him? Remember her?
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
Does he say Mo Canada?
No, but it's a Mo. Mo is a her. Sorry.
Does she say Mo Canada?
No.
No.
Are we dropping Julio Jones for Elijah Moore or Rashad Bateman?
I do it for Bateman.
I think I'd rather hang on to Julio.
Well, who cares? We're on to the fantasy cops. Send in your.
Who cares? Wow.
Who sent in your?
Come on, that's from Mo Canada.
What's Mo Canada? What is that?
Oh, Canada. Mo Canada.
Oh, Mo Canada. I get it now. Sorry. I was thinking about all those Mike Williams trades. All right, this is
Imagine giving up Tyler Lockett and Dalton Schultz for Mike Williams.
He doesn't like Tyler Lockett, and he doesn't need Dalton Schultz. I think he only did it because he had just called Mike Williams a buy low, and Heath kind of put his feet to the fire a little bit.
What league was this in?
FFT.
FFT.
Annoying.
The model of consistency, Tyler Lockett. All right, anyway, from T-Bert, a series of events have occurred while making trades, and it has become complete chaos for our league. But I will address the latest event. Our commissioner has a trade pending where he sends Odell Beckham straight up for Tyler Lockett. I, for one, was against the trade and wanted it to be balanced out with pick compensation or at least another player. A couple other of my fellow league mates jumped in agreeing for a revision. Our commissioner argues, how can you tell us how to value players more than others? It's not up to you what someone is worth. Beckham hasn't been fantasy relevant all season and been sitting on the bench all year in this league, and who's to say he becomes anything equivalent to what Lockett is? We were then told to pound sand pretty much and that the trade stands. With that being said, my question is, where is the fine line? Yes, I believe people should be able to make the trades they want, but at what point should fantasy trade value play a part in making the decision to veto a trade? Should the trade stand? Is the commissioner right, or does something need to be done? This is so
the trade should stand.
Yeah, of course.
It's not that egregious of a deal. I mean, what happens if Beckham, we've said this a lot the last couple of days. What happens if he's what Antonio Brown was last year? So not the heights of what Lockett is, but also not the floor. Yeah, might be better. And so, I think first off, to answer the one part about that, how do you value players? Well, we have somebody on our site that does trade chart, and you can look at Dave Richards' trade chart and say, okay, here's a basis of comparison. This probably not the trade to do it because he's not an Odell Beckham guy. So, I guess he's also not a Tyler Lockett guy. So I'm sure the value for those guys will be low, but there's some value system. You can look at rest of season projections, that Sportsline does for us, and that can give you a basis of comparison to where these guys are. Or you can, just do it yourselves. Have somebody, rank these players in your own leagues and see how it comes out from a consensus. But I don't think this is an egregious enough trade that you veto it by any stretch.
No, and I have. Go ahead.
With all due respect and all love to our guy T-Bert, pound sand. As the commissioner says.
Listen,
I have something I want to say.
I have 3 veto fantasy cops here because we deal with this all the time. And I'm not one who says, no, you can't veto anything, but you can't veto this. It's got to be something crazy. So this one I think was easy.
You can veto trades for sure. They not just because you think it makes one team better.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's got to be, and we're going to get more egregious as we go on. So
good. Love when Adam gets egregious.
That's not the fine line to answer your question.
I think the song is getting egregious with it, right?
Get egregious with it. Yes. All right. This is from Jeff. We are in the We are in the 13th year of our league. 10-team half PPR. I am the commish. The following trade happened in our league. A team tied for first traded away Chase Claypool, Cortland Sutton, Kenyon Drake, and Dallas Goedert to the last place team, who is all but eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, gave away Claypool, Sutton, Drake, and Goddard to the last place team. In return, this first place team got Chris Godwin, Chris Carson, Javonte Williams, and Ty Johnson. Pretty much getting the 3 best players in the deal. The only real big gain for the last place team is that they did not have a tight end, and now they have Dallas Goedert. The issue at hand is, after some digging by some of the league members with the last place manager asking why in the world he made this trade, it was revealed that included in the deal, the last place manager was receiving a few free rounds of golf and a case or 2 of beer.
Oh, no.
I don't even have to read the rest.
The problem is the trade's not even that bad.
It's pretty bad. This one I'd be pissed about.
Well, no, it's not that bad.
But it's like you're getting one surefire starter in return while potentially losing 3. Or not surefire starters, but you're potentially losing 3 starters in Claypool, Sutton, and Goddard. Well, and Godwin's the only guy.
When was the trade executed?
I don't know.
Because Claypool's obviously in a different scenario right now because of his injury. But if it's prior to his injury, I mean, yeah, I don't think that the best players are come completely from the other side. I think it's one, like Chris said, it's Chris Godwin.
Okay. We don't know about Carson. Like, he might play, but it also sounds like he might be one wrong hit away from not playing again.
So you don't even think that. Yeah, obviously you can't.
Yeah, now you have to. But you have to
immediately. Yeah. And then there was an addendum. He said the last place team got an 8th round pick next year in the deal. We're a 1 keeper league. And the first place manager swears the additional items were included as a joke and didn't affect the deal. All right. Well, listen, if they weren't a joke, then you kick the first place manager out of the league because you have no business bringing anything other than fantasy football into the trade.
So, Adam, the dinner gift cards I sent you.
I've made almost no trades this year. I fleeced one poor soul. I gave him Jameis Winston. He gave me Robert Woods in a 2 QB league, but that was Chris. That's it. That's the only trade I made. It's so sad. I'm trying. All right.
I just made a trade yesterday.
Chris did?
What's that? Yeah, I shouldn't have. Derrick Henry, losing Derrick Henry in the YOLO league. I mean, I gave up a 3rd round pick for Devontae Freeman essentially in the Dynasty league, which it's too much, but I was hoping, like, I lost Derrick Henry. I have very little running back depth, so I need a guy, and I'm trying to win this year.
Look good in the first quarter.
Might just leave the league if I leave win the championship this year. So,
all right. Well, don't ask Heath to find a replacement. We won't enjoy that task. Jason from a city east of a city east of New York.
London.
Okay, London, yeah. I would love your help with a dynasty trade that just went down in our league. A non-competing team has traded Miles Sanders and their 2022 first-round pick to a winning record team for Adrian Peterson, Tyler Boyd, a 2022 second, and a 2022 fourth. All right, so the bad team gave up Miles Sanders and a first, got back from a winning team, Adrian Peterson, Tyler Boyd, a second, and a fourth. The uncompetitive team has now said that they thought they were trading for Antonio Gibson and not Adrian Peterson.
Oh.
And wants the trade reversed. AP's headshot does still show him in a Washington uniform from our site, on our site. However, the other manager doesn't even have Antonio Gibson.
Oy.
So we're in year 1 of our Dynasty League, and it is both managers' first time doing Dynasty. Can you please help rule I'm team #no veto, but this appears to be an honest mistake that may have hurt the balance of the league.
I think if you know the person and they legitimately made an honest mistake, then you reverse the deal.
Yeah, and it's so egregious that it had to have been an honest mistake.
See? I told you we were going to get more egregious as the show went on.
But it's not, it's if he just wanted to make that trade, then it's not that egregious. Because he wanted to make the trade. It's that he made a mistake.
All right, but okay, fine. So let me stay on that then. If someone traded Miles Sanders and a first-round pick for Adrian Peterson, Tyler Boyd, a second and a fourth in a Dynasty League, you wouldn't.
That'd be a really bad trade.
You wouldn't veto it?
If they, this is the problem, is how much hand-holding are we supposed to do here?
Okay, you have a vote. Let's say you had a vote. Would you vote to veto or no?
I wouldn't.
I would.
I would vote to not have vetoes.
I don't like vetoes either, but Dynasty is a little different just because, the tanking that goes on in some of the trades that you see. Thankfully, we haven't had anything that bad in our Dynasty League with the 2 guys who are tanking, or 1.5 guy who is tanking. And so we haven't had to deal with that yet. But, I mean, if Heath made such a lopsided deal, I would probably say something.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Should Roger Goodell have stepped in when the Texans traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson? You gotta allow the
but there's money involved
Houston
there.
Texans of your league to mess up.
All right. Well, thank you for your Fantasy Cop submissions. We're going to take a quick break and read your emails at fantasyfootball@cbsi.com when we come right back. Back here on Fantasy Football Today. Welcome. And this is from Matthew. We're going to fly through these emails here. From Matthew. I said that. By the way, this one, guys, comes from Matthew. Matthew says,
Matt?
Yep. If KAMARA is out, pick a running back and a flex. Ingram, Dearness Johnson, DJ Moore. By the way, this email was from Matthew.
Oh, okay.
Well, Steve, I think the answer would be Ingram and not DJ Moore, Dearness Johnson.
Yep.
All right. From Bill,
By the way, since you have, I believe, Adam, you shaved this morning, right? And now you already have your
I shaved, yes. I shaved Wednesday.
We got a question on the Tuesday night stream that the two of you guys bailed on. That who has the best facial hair on our shows? So I voted Heath 1 because of the mustache, Chris 2, Dave 3, me 4, and Adam 5.
I only have one problem with that, and that was Chris should be 1.
Heath is the most creative with his facial hair. So going with the mustache now.
Here's the problem. Heath is a much better looking guy than I am. He's got like a chin and like defined facial features. I've got a round face with no chin. So if I don't have a beard, I look like a baby or like a shoulder with eyes.
Yeah, what we said was that when your beard is like fully grown, which you're on your way there, that it's definitely better than Dave's goatee.
Dave's goatee is so.
It's like
I would say iconic in the fantasy industry. Everybody knows Dave's goatee.
By the way, speaking of iconic in the fantasy industry, next Friday I get to make my case for Dave for the Hall of Fame.
Hey,
if he does not get in, if he
doesn't get in, what's the point of having a fantasy football Hall of Fame if Dave Richards not in?
It's ridiculous at this point. It's a big process, and he's beyond deserving. So I hope my fellow voters will vote him in. I'm also making the case, which I was pleasantly surprised to see. The nominations just were released privately today, but I will share this one. That our former colleague David Ganos got 2 nominations.
Hey, cool.
So that was fun to see. But Dave's iconic goatee should be his Hall of Fame bust.
Absolutely.
Just the goatee.
Absolutely.
Just the goatee.
Yeah.
And glasses, goatee and glasses.
All right, here's from Bill. You're going to make me late for my show with Jacob Gibbs again. So I need 2 running backs and a flex. Eckler. All right, I'm going to stop there. I need 1 running back and a flex. Eli Mitchell, Dearness Johnson, Cortland Sutton, Jeff Wilson, Adrian Peterson, Mark Ingram.
Mitchell and Johnson.
I didn't hear the question, but sure.
Well, okay, I'm going to narrow it down. Pick 2 of these 3. Mitchell, Dearness Johnson, Mark Ingram.
Mitchell and Dearness Johnson.
Okay, so it's Eckler, Mitchell, and Johnson. From David.
Sounds like a law firm.
Grade the trade. Sorry. Give Pittman and Dalton Schultz. Get Travis Kelce. This is a 14-team, 3 wide receiver league. He will still have Kupp, Metcalf, and Renfro becomes his number 3 receiver.
Oh, man. I don't know if he's in the spot where he can make a 2-for-1 trade where he's giving up 2 starters, but in a vacuum, I love the deal. As much as I like Pittman.
So it's Pittman and Schultz for Kelce.
Yeah, that's tough in a 14-team league with his bench, though.
There's got to be some receiver that the guy with Kelce can throw back at you, just to help you.
All right, so we're saying don't do it. C-.
Yes, I have news for you, by the way.
All right, what do you got?
Nick Chubb.
If you're going to tell me he's out, then I'm going to tell you to rewind the tape to 10 minutes ago.
Well, it's just officially now.
No, it's not. I got the alert 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Adam did say he was out.
I said it, buddy. Yeah, not putting you in the Hall of Fame.
No.
All right. Jeremy from an Eastern Washington lake town.
I have news for you, by the way.
But is it from Matthew?
No.
What?
Matthew's uncle. Pat Shurmur will not be coaching the Broncos offense this week.
I can see that, yeah. All right, listen, honestly, I got to do a show with Jacob. So
I got to go give a presentation at Florida Atlantic University.
Shut up and let me
economics class.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to see that.
No, you wouldn't. It's going to be embarrassing.
All right, here's a question from Jeremy. No kidding. That's why I want to see it. I have Mixon, Darrell Henderson, and Fournette. After next week, they're all done with their buys. How do you decide which handcuff to get for Mixon, Henderson, or Fournette?
I would rank them Sony Michel, Samaje Perine, Ronald Jones.
And you know what? I'm reading his team. Like, he should drop handcuff all three if you want. Drop Chenault, Jacoby Myers, and Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, from Christopher.
That's consolidating your roster in a good way.
Yeah, I went against Lamar Jackson, Devontae Freeman, and Justin Tucker last night. Before the game, I was projected to lose by a lot, so I was going with some Hail Marys like Freiermuth, Judy, and Ayuk.
Those aren't Hail Marys.
Should I stick with them or go for the safer guys like Hawkinson over Freiermuth, Antonio Gibson? Yeah, no, that's it. The other guys that he has are hurt. No, so the only decision is Freiermuth or Hawk.
I would go Hawkinson.
What is the format?
I don't know.
Non-PPR, I'd go Freiermuth. PPR, I would go with Hawkinson. Half PPR, I'd go Hawkinson.
This is from Brian. Brian.
By the way, it was interesting earlier this week when Dave was trying to prove his point on something.
Yeah.
And he went with half PPR. I think it's the first time he's ever brought up like a half PPR.
He just half PPR tight end scoring. I thought that was weird.
You were like, you never do that.
Nobody does. I mean, I like it because, we need to give the half PPR.
No, I agree. It was good, but it was just like so out of nowhere. In half PPR scoring.
Yeah, that's what he does. All right, from Brian, 12-team half PPR. The team I'm playing this week offered me Mike Williams for Melvin Gordon. I like the offer, but I don't want to help him this week. He only has KAMARA and Chase Edmonds at running back.
Yeah, no, take your win. Don't make the trade. Don't give him a starting running back.
Agreed.
Okay. From Jimmy, should I drop Jalen Hurts for Carson Wentz?
No.
Drop who?
Jalen Hurts for Carson Wentz.
Ooh. Eagles still have their bye coming up, right?
Yes.
Colts are past their bye, right?
Yes.
I would do that.
From Colin, should I pick up Tyler Johnson or Jeremy McNichols? Who should I start?
Tyler Johnson.
I think so.
From Kyle, grade the trade. Give up.
Hold on. I guess we should specify there. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
Ty Johnson, the Jets running back, not Tyler Johnson, the
actually, I was reading. Yeah, you know what? My bad. He wrote Ty Johnson, and I read Tyler. So it is Jets running back.
You know who you're picking up, dude.
Ty Johnson or Jeremy McNichols?
So play it out. If Adrian Peterson gets hurt, does Jeremy McNichols become that much better or stay the same?
Stays the same, I think.
I would agree. If something happens to Michael Carter, does Ty Johnson become that much better?
He becomes better.
Yeah, I think he becomes better.
Yep. I would rather have Ty Johnson.
Okay, but it is for starting this week.
I would rather have Ty Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
All right. From Kyle, give up Tyreek Hill, Robert Woods, and Devontae Freeman. Get KAMARA, Hopkins, and Julio Jones.
Wow, Jacob Gibbs just tweeted how pissed off he is at you.
Give up Tyreek Hill, Woods, and Devontae Freeman. Get KAMARA, Hopkins, and Julio Jones.
I
don't.
Yeah, I can't with KAMARA and Hopkins injuries, especially with how vague they've been about KAMARA.
The first guy to comment on Jacob's tweet was Matthew.
All right, from Trevor. Dear Blanche, Sophia, Dorothy, and Rose. And he put that in parentheses, Dorothy is Heath. So
wow.
Yeah.
I love that show growing up.
Yeah, me too. Reminded me of my grandma. She used to watch it all the time. 12-team non-PPR league, standard roster, and 3 receivers. Give away Eckler. Get Amari Cooper and Leonard Fournette. It is non-PPR. Needs a wide receiver.
I think you do it. It is a 3 wide receiver. Oh, no flex though. So not necessarily a deeper lineup. I think I would do it.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I like it.
Eckler's not really worse in non-PPR this year.
Right. He's scoring a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I have to go. Jacob's mad at me.
Wait. Matthew just had another question.